It's been described as music's masterpiece and was titled The Greatest Night in Pop. What happened one very late night didn't just celebrate the 80s, it unveiled the magic behind We Are the World. The iconic relationships and unforgettable moments that defined an era brought pop superstars together for one incredible night. For that one night, we were the world. Welcome to That's Life, I swear. This podcast is about life's happenings in this world that conjure up such words as intriguing, frightening, life-changing, inspiring, and more. I'm Rick Barron, your host. That said, here's the rest of this story. 39 years ago, on January 28, 1985, a remarkable event took place in a Los Angeles studio as 45 of the music industry's biggest stars, including Stevie Wonder and Bruce Springsteen, gathered to record the iconic charity single, We Are the World. As the 40th anniversary approaches next year, a new documentary titled The Greatest Night in Pop was released on Netflix on January 29, 2024. The film dives into the historic recording session, featuring interviews with participants like Cyndi Lauper, Kenny Loggins, Lionel Richie, Smokey Robinson, and Michael Jackson. The documentary offers a unique perspective by combining original video footage from USA for Africa with audio recorded by David Briskin, who penned the Life magazine article about the session. Director Bo Wynn and editor Nick Zimmerman very carefully synced Briskin's dictaphone recording with the silent footage from the recording session, providing a comprehensive and immersive view of this significant moment in music history. So how did this song come about? We Are the World was conceived as a response to the 1984 charity single, Do They Know It's Christmas?, which featured prominent British and Irish musicians raising funds to combat famine in Ethiopia. Noting the predominantly white lineup of performers, legendary artist and civil rights activist Harry Belafonte saw a need for top black stars to participate in a similar effort. As Lionel Richie recalls in the documentary, Belafonte's pitch was straightforward. We have white folks saving black folks. We don't have black folks saving black folks, Belafonte urged, emphasizing the importance of black artists stepping up to address the African crisis. Richie was immediately on board, recognizing the need to mobilize young artists to support this important cause. Belafonte collaborated with prominent Hollywood managers and producers, including Ken Cragen and Quincy Jones, to connect with the music industry's top talents. Knowing that many artists would be in Los Angeles for the American Music Awards, which Richie hosted for 3 hours, they intentionally scheduled the recording session immediately after the event. Now, the list of singers was amazing. The song brought together some of the biggest names in the music industry at the time, creating an amazing gathering of talent. Now, some of these singers included Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, Kenny Loggins, Billy Joe, Dionne Warwick, Willie Nelson, Bruce Springsteen, Kenny Loggins, Huey Lewis, Cyndi Lauper, Bob Dylan, and Ray Charles, but there were more. The diverse and rich lineup represented a wide range of musical genres, from pop and rock to country and rhythm and blues, reflecting the song's message of unity and collaboration. Each artist contributed their unique voice and style to the song, creating a rich tapestry of sound. Check your egos at the door, read a sign on the studio doors when the song was recorded. Written by Quincy Jones, the sign was a message to the big artists who were about to enter the studio because he only had one night to record this song. Now, what was the recording process? There was a lot here that happened that night. The recording took place on January 28, 1985, following the American Music Awards. This timing was key as many of the biggest names in music were already in LA for the awards ceremony. The session lasted from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. the next morning, with artists arriving at staggered times throughout the night. We're talking 10 hours of production, recording, editing, and getting the song completed that night. Even for those very polished and very talented singers, this was a task that took a lot of stamina to complete this beautiful song in one crazy all-night session. During an interview, Lionel Richie was asked, how in the world did he pull this off? His answer was in two parts. Number one, naivete. And two, they didn't have any distractions. What do I mean by that? There was no internet, no social media, and no mobile phones existed at the time. During the recording session, it struck Lionel that he could see many of the singers showing fatigue and wondered if the song would be completed in the one session, as that was all the time they had to complete the project. When the clock hit 4 a.m., many of the singers had to sing their own individual parts. At 8 a.m., Bruce Springsteen was so tired, he left after having done his song clip. A surprising insight revealed in the documentary film on Netflix comes from Sheila E., who performed with Prince. She said she was invited to participate in hopes that her presence would also persuade Prince to join the session. Sheila E. described the experience of waiting her turn to sing a solo as surreal and disheartening. She said it was getting late, and she was eager to sing one of the verses, she recounted. But they kept asking, do you think you can get Prince here? Sheila started feeling like she was being used to lure Prince in. The longer they kept her there, the more they hoped he would show up. She knew Prince wouldn't come as he felt uneasy among so many people, and she ultimately found the night disheartening. Despite being invited and initially expressing interest, Prince ultimately declined to participate in the recording. Now, various reasons have been speculated for his decision, including a desire for creative control and concerns about the group dynamic. Instead, Prince contributed a song, For the Tears in Your Eyes, to the We Are the World album. Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson co-wrote We Are the World, with Richie crediting Jackson for the memorable line, We Are the World. Jackson and Richie wrote the song in just 2 nights, inspired by the urgency of the situation in Africa and the need for global unity. Several singers significantly contributed to the song's production during the intense recording session. For instance, Bob Dylan had trouble with his line, feeling very uneasy in the crowded studio. He called on Stevie Wonder for help, and Wonder, imitating Dylan's distinctive folk style, sang the line at the piano to guide him. This assistance enabled Dylan to perfect his part. The song became an instant sensation. In its March 25, 1985 issue, Time magazine highlighted impressive information that underscored its success, dubbing it the smash of the decade. The Tower Record Store on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood sold 1,000 copies in just 2 days, compared to the usual 100 to 125 copies sold in a week. Time magazine noted the song's significance, calling out how musicians from rival factions of the business are seen putting aside differences of style and temperament and coming together to share and spread a little decency. We Are the World spent 4 weeks atop the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified quadruple platinum on April 1st, 1985, less than a month after its release. Now, that wasn't an April Fool's joke. Around the world, We Are the World sold more than 7 million units, and USA for Africa raised $63 million for the cause. Now, we talked about the absence of Prince from being part of this special moment in music. Here's a few more moments you may not know about. Eddie Murphy missed his chance to be there. On the day of We Are the World recording, Eddie Murphy was in Stevie Wonder's studio working on music. Wonder invited him to join, but Murphy declined, as he was recording Party All the Time, which later reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Murphy later admitted he regretted not joining, saying he felt like an idiot, and when he realized what We Are the World was all about. In the We Are the World music video, everyone appears calm and happy, except Bob Dylan. His intense performance reflects the stress he felt during rehearsals. Lionel Richie revealed to The Hollywood Reporter that Dylan was having a nervous breakdown over his solo part. Richie explained that Dylan was trying to sing it differently, but they insisted he sing it in his own unique style. Despite their encouragement, Dylan seemed unsure of what singing like Bob Dylan meant, if you can believe that. Now here's one more, and this question gets asked a lot. When the We Are the World music video hit the airwaves, a lot of questions came up about why the heck was Dan Aykroyd, a comedian who's only dabbled in music as one half of the Blues Brothers, part of the chorus. Turns out it was a total fluke. In a 2010 interview with New Hampshire Magazine, Aykroyd explained that he and his father were interviewing business managers on the day of the session. They somehow wound up in the office of a talent manager, which is not what Dan Aykroyd needed. But the guy invited Aykroyd to come and join We Are the World. And the rest is history. Now, there were many players in the background, but one person that Lionel Richie called out that was an overlooked hero of We Are the World is Tom Ballard, an unsurpassed vocal manager and longtime collaborator with Quincy Jones, who assigned solo lines to particular singers and paired artists together based on their styles. He orchestrated the dramatic flow and harmonic dynamics, which are the best part of the song. Most of We Are the World proceeds went to USA for Africa, an organization focused on alleviating poverty. Additionally, 10% of the funds were allocated to combat homelessness in the United States, a request made by Stevie Wonder. We Are the World stands as a testament to the power of music, to inspire, unite, and drive change. Its creation brought together some of the biggest names in the music industry, covering different boundaries and personal differences for a common cause. The song's enduring popularity nearly 4 decades after its release speaks to the universal appeal of its message and the quality of its execution. The project serves as a model for how the entertainment industry can leverage its influence for social good. It demonstrates that when artists collaborate rather than compete, they can create something greater than the sum of its parts. The song's success in raising both funds and awareness for famine relief in Africa shows the potential impact of such initiatives. Could a modern equivalent of We Are the World emerge in the 21st century? Imagine top TikTok influencers gathering in a studio to create a charity video. Now, while it's uncertain, director Bo Win remains hopeful. He said, "I do hope the film and song inspire a younger generation to try something like this." So what can we learn from this story? What's the takeaway? We Are the World remains a powerful and enduring anthem of unity and hope. Its creation brought together some of the most iconic voices in music history to address a pressing global issue. The song's universal message, memorable performances, and historical significance have ensured its lasting impact. As we continue to face challenges as a global community, We Are the World serves as a reminder of the power of collaboration, compassion, and the enduring values that still unite us all. Well, there you go, my friends. That's life, I swear. For further information covered in this episode, I invite you to visit my website, which you can find on Apple Podcasts for show notes and the episode transcript. As always, I thank you for the privilege of you listening and your interest. Be sure to subscribe here or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. See you soon.